people that you deal with as potential prospective clients are also looking for other businesses and other things. And so one of the things that I find really helpful is finding a couple partners in the space. If you are a personal trainer, go find a nutrition coach to refer clients to. It always makes sense to have a physician that you know and trust. It also makes sense to have a dentist. All these people are adjacent to beauty or health or longevity or feeling better. Go find people that are related to your industry that can help you help your clients more effectively.
There's a lot of networking events that do happen, specifically things like BNI groups and Chamber of Commerce's. The big thing that I would really do there is all of the other vendors, the ones that make sense, are great opportunities to build partnerships with. And the tactic that I would leverage is you want to give every single one of them a free session. Just throwing this out there on top of it, just offering a free session isn't usually enough to get somebody intrigued. They're usually going to need something extra. Hey everyone, Steve here. Quick announcement before we dive into today's episode. Next week, Tuesday the 5th at 7 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be kicking off the last free blueprint that we're going to run. The blueprint is a 4-week, 4-part course where we break down exactly what you need to grow and scale your business that you desire to have. It's going to break down attracting your ideal customer by using the voice that they want to hear, creating an irresistible offer that ensures they show up ready to buy, going over your sales process and making sure not only can you sell, but you're selling the right thing, i.e. charging what you're worth, and not only getting clients, but creating raving fans that refer more clients. We're going to break all this down completely for free. The last time we're doing this, register in the link below, fill out that survey so I understand a little bit more about you. 4 weeks, 4 hours. You'd be crazy not to absolutely do this. I can't wait to see you there. Welcome back to Beyond the Pump, where today we are going to break down getting clients outside of social media. Because let's face it, having to spend all day on social media sucks. And there's also all of that whole editing, content planning, and whatnot that, while I will say is necessary, is a little bit difficult and daunting. So we're going to break it down for you, go over some strategies, some tactics where we can actually use those outside of just social media. Jumping into number 1, which is going to lead us to the last strategy here. So just going to keep you guys a little interested. Make sure you want to listen to the next 12, 13 minutes, but we need to go in order because they do build on each other. Is going to be, honestly, just getting out in your community. There are a lot of events in every single community. Go out, meet people, and become that person. Now, do you have to actually go out, pay for a space, pay for a tent, pay for all of those things? The answer is absolutely not. One of the best strategies that I've ever used when it's come to kind of meeting new people in my local market was getting a t-shirt printed up that said something funny, but it was around what I wanted people to do. And it was really just big and bold. I got one printed up. It was like a $30 thing. The person printing it like hated me for it, so I overpaid for it. But consider that expense for that really expensive t-shirt to literally be an advertising expense. And you might say something like, scan this QR code and put a giant QR code on your back if you want more information about something, right? Get more info about big QR code. Ask me how to insert thing that your people might want, and start engaging in conversations that way. If you also deck yourself out, so one of my businesses, the colors was kind of like a bright green and a dark gray color. So we would go to events with literally, and we got Under Armour bright green backpacks at the time. We were a bright green shirt, and we just really stood out representing the brand, and we'd have that name plastered on our chest and on our back, and just something intriguing about it of the best workout ever. And it was a great way for people to just kind of ask questions. Of course, you always had those people that had some funny comment trying to knock you down a peg or two or whatever, but that banter, as long as you're ready for it, was actually something pretty good, and usually elicited a follow-up conversation with either that person or somebody standing next to them. So the first one I'll tell you is to get out in your community, go and stand out, be bright, be bold, have conversations, get creative, get those t-shirts made. Business cards still exist for a reason. Hand out business cards. If you go meet 50 people, brand new people, every single weekend for a month, you are going to find somebody who wants to pay for your services and what it is that you offer. And on top of it, that is going to be a better lead because they already know your personality. You already know theirs. You probably had a conversation over something funny that you did, and it's going to be a great way to really get out there. So that's going to be big tip number one, big thing number one to go out and do. Going to hand it over though, and we'll jump down on big tip number two on how you can get leads and clients without actually having to spend all your time on social media.
I'm really having to resist not jumping on big tip number two as a joke, but we're going to turn it. Yeah. Brandon, what do you got for big tip number two, buddy?
And this is my favorite, leveraging word of mouth, especially with your friends and your family members who know what you do. I think it just allows, again, it's that personableness that adds a little bit more of that. Okay, if if you're, let's say your mom, my mom actually pushes me a lot to her friends and her brothers and sisters, so my aunts and uncles, and they're always asking me for nutrition advice now. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. I didn't actually even have to really do anything. So having those relationships, you do have to have, some sort of proof of concept. Otherwise, if your friend refers you to someone and then you drop the ball, that'll look bad on your friend. And then they also may not be as willing to refer you because it's like, may have strained a little bit of a relationship there. But I think that word of mouth is a great way to be able to get clients outside of social media, just because, you have that trust that's already built in with the person referring you, and that person referring you hopefully has that trust with the person. It's kind of like the most positive pyramid scheme you can think of without any, just hear me out, without any of the negatives. No buy-in. They're buying a legit product though. They don't got to refer two people in order to level up in the system. So leveraging word of mouth, big tip number two.
Big tip number three. Everyone is looking, well, not everyone, excuse me. Let me back up for a second. People are looking for your stuff, and people that you deal with as potential prospective clients are also looking for other businesses and other things. And so one of the things that I find really helpful is finding a couple partners in the space. If you are a personal trainer, go find a nutrition coach to refer clients to. If you are in the health and fitness industry in general, it always makes sense to have a physician that you know and trust. It also makes sense to have a dentist. Oddly enough, gut health and dental hygiene are highly correlated. So if you don't have a dentist that you refer to, you should probably definitely look into that. A physical therapist, a massage therapist, a barber or hair, person. All these people are adjacent to beauty or health or longevity or feeling better. And those are definitely people and businesses that would benefit from having someone as a trusted point of contact related to improving their health, not just surviving, and really making sure that the meat suit that people as clients are driving through life in are tip-top shape. So go find people that are related to your industry that can help you help your clients more effectively.
Love it. Love it. So big tip number 4 coming in hot here. Your website, having a website, call it content marketing strategies built into there. So things like blogs, and making sure that you're building it towards a high level of SEO or search engine optimization, which is ultimately knowing, hey, Google and people are searching for a certain word, right? So nutrition coaching, macros, workout programming, stuff like that, writing information around that where people can ultimately stumble upon whatever it is that you wrote and can start to get some information. In a perfect world, you would layer in some type of free resource that they can go ahead and download, like maybe an ebook or a PDF that's maybe an example or a template of something. And hopefully, again, in depth here, in exchange for that, you can capture somebody's contact information, at least an email address. And from there, you can now send emails out and contact them. But at the end of the day, website and or, again, I'll just kind of say content marketing is a great strategy. It is a longer term play and you are not as in control, but it is something that can help reinforce people finding you, hearing about you, that referral, that meeting somebody on the street, your business card that you might be handing out. Come to that website and get some information so they can continue to build that relationship with you. They can understand maybe who you are, what you do, and then hopefully kind of move to take that next step in whatever it is that they're looking for. So that website, that content marketing style thing is going to be great. There are those levels. Again, give something for free, capture email address, send the emails on the back end. That makes it more robust, but you don't even have to start there. Start at step one. Brandon, you got big tip number 5?
Yeah, number 5. And this will probably be the most, for the most part for people, the most uncomfortable one, but you got to get uncomfortable.
Cold DMing.
Pretty much. That's actually what I was going to do.
Yes.
Yeah. Cold, not necessarily DM because we're doing this outside of social media, but doing cold outreaches. And so I've even been in establishments when I was doing personal training. We had people come in and we're like, hey, I offer some nutrition coaching services, or I'm a physical therapist. I just opened up down the street, got a new suite, and we're looking for clients. Would that be something you'd be able to, we could talk about, or just so you can send your clients over? It might be cool. And I don't actually think we ever took on anyone because we didn't really know who they were, but that's one more no closer to a yes. So, gotta get out of your comfort zone. I have done it DM wise on social media and it has worked out. So if it works on social media, I know it works in person, but it is going to be getting out of your comfort zone. You got to talk to strangers. I know even nowadays people don't even like answering the phone if it's a number they don't recognize, unless that's just me. But I know
that's
that
the world. That's the world.
Okay. Yeah. And so, just cold approaching, good old fashioned cold approaching, and just saying, hey, have a good elevator pitch. If you're kind of fumbling over your words, you'll kind of come off a little sketchy too, and not as professional. So takes a little bit more courage, a little bit more risk, but could lead into big rewards. So cold outreach, it doesn't get any more classic than that, I think.
All right, Andrew, you got big tip number 6 coming in hot?
Yeah, big tip number 6, I think, really revolves around, again, exactly the things we've built upon so far, basically just getting ingratiated in the community. One of the ways that you can do that is by going to local businesses. We mentioned earlier finding partners. In this case, there are a lot of people that have corporate wellness programs or are located in person, especially as that starts to become more prevalent as people are starting to go back to the offices. So they're always looking for ways to keep their workforce healthy and happy, and B, they're also like to get them some value, and there's a mutual benefit inside of you getting to showcase your skills, your knowledge, your competency to a group of potentially receptive people at some kind of lunch and learn is a great one. So find some bigger corporations nearby, see if they have any interest, and you might even be able to get paid for some of those if you have a big enough brand footprint or if they have a strong enough desire and a big enough budget. So go find some local businesses to give some value to.
Love it. All right. Last and final tip coming in hot right now. So earlier I mentioned a culmination of talking to people you've never talked to, meet strangers, go to events, go to create corporate wellness opportunities for yourself, just all of these things. And what I would say is there's a lot of networking events that do happen, specifically things like BNI groups and Chamber of Commerce's. Those are good places to go to start meet people. But this is not so much the place, but rather the tactic to use in that moment. The big thing that I would really do there is all of the other vendors, and put the asterisks of the ones that make sense, are great opportunities to build partnerships with. And the tactic that I would leverage is you want to give every single one of them a free session. Now, if you show up and the person's not necessarily your ideal demographic, the ideal client, the business isn't something that would be good for the referral kind of network and partnership, so to speak, that may not be the best opportunity. But hey, you sit down with somebody, you have a good conversation, you might be able to help them. You're given some goodwill. So I would show up to these events, go to these businesses that are actually there while you're dressed in your QR code with your bright green backpack or whatever it might be, and actually have a conversation with every single one of them, give them something for free, try to exchange, so to speak, contact information where they're going to be able to come in. Just throwing this out there on top of it, just offering a free session isn't usually enough to get somebody intrigued. They're usually going to need something extra. So a fun thing tends to be like, I'm going to do an in-body scan with you if you have something available. Even if it's an Omron body fat calculator, you might do some type of assessment. You might do some type of metabolic assessment with somebody where you're going to help them understand their current opportunities. But going in, making those relationships, if you start helping them, I would offer them some type of discount to get them in. They own businesses. A lot of people patron businesses. Typically, business owners know a lot of people. Get them into your services. Don't try to make as much money on them. And they are very likely to refer people to you. They understand the game of business as well. They understand what referrals and things like that mean. So they're going to go and be kind of better than that average person who just wants to come in and get some of that coaching from you. But that's it. That's a wrap. Those are the top 7 things that we would go do to create leads, create new clients in a non-social media way. Hopefully one of those resonates with you. Hopefully you can get out, go be loud and proud, have those conversations, and get to where you need to get to. If you found any value in this episode, like, subscribe, rate, review, throw some comments in there, and reach out with anything else you want to hear from us.